Good evening, everyone. Yeah, if I remember clearly, today we are supposed to be discussing about academic CV in general, if I'm right about the schedule of this series. So, like I said, I'm not going to be like writing it out, typing it out myself right now. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to like show you the ways, and I'm going to share. I'm going to show you a template of one of my students. I think she got a fully funded PhD recently. Um, I was invited to a webinar, so I just edited some of her CV and like used that to present in that webinar. So I'm going to be sharing that video, that document. I'm going to be showing you that document too. But before that, I need to like tell you how to structure your CV, the do and don't of CV, and how to present yourself in writing your CV. I believe you guys can hear me. If I'm speaking too fast, you can let me know so I can like slow down a little bit. If you permit me, I would like to share my screen. Let me just share my desk. This is just a brief summary of our past meeting, probably our first meeting uh, regarding academic CV. Please, we have to make it lively. If you have a question, please up your hand or mute yourself and ask your question so that we can make it as lively and as good as possible. Also, I will advise you to start jotting down key points that you're going to use to write your CV. And you should know that after this, you have to like start writing your CV, and you should have a clear goal on what you're supposed to put in your CV. What are the things that you're not supposed to put, and how to express yourself in writing your CV. Basically, I would like to start with this, right? Your academic CV is a kind of CV that basically at your level should not be more, if you're using it for application purpose, no matter what you are trying to put in there, should not be more than should not be more than 2 pages. No matter what you have done, no matter what you think you can put in there, no matter how you think you can fit in the stuff in there, it should be more than uh 2 pages. So I will kickstart it right now. Uh, and start with some of the information. I believe you can see my screen, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you. So I will start with some of the information uh, you should not include in your academic CV, right? The first is your age. Like when you're writing your CV, we don't want to see your age in there. We don't want to know your birthday. And for academic CV at your level, we don't need a professional summary. Most of you make that mistake. You add your professional summary into your academic CV. Nah, 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 nah. That is for job application. For academic CV, your summary is your CV. The CV is actually your summary. So your professional CV, you should not include it. That section you should not do. I believe you know what I mean by professional summary. Is a place a section where people talk about their experience in a particular field and this and that. In academic CV at this PhD level, you are not supposed to put that. That will save you a lot of space. So I believe in that meeting, I also spoke about something regarding mode of funding. Yeah. Firstly, there are different mode of funding. People get it really confused. There is what we call assistantship, there's what we call scholarship, external scholarship, and there's what we call fellowship. These are the ways you can be funded for grad school. It doesn't necessarily have to be like you have to, uh, there's just one way to it. No. Assistantship are typically provided by the school, and it could be in three types. That is graduate assistantship, teaching assistantship, and research assistantship. When they say assistantship, it means you have to, they will be paying your tuition, probably they'll be paying your stipend too, but you also have to be working like for a specific hours per week. Probably in the US, it's 20 hours per week. It might be different in some other country, but in the US, I'm pretty sure it's 20 hours per week that you can work as an F1 on a fully funded scholarship. Even if not, as an F1 standardizes, you can only work for 20 hours per week. And that will be like what is paying your stipend. You understand? It could be like you are going to be doing a graduate assistant. Probably you might be working in the library. you might be working in the school, in some sector inside the school. You might be even be working in the gym. I don't know. So that is like graduate assistantship. But you have to work for the money that they are paying you. Also, teaching assistantship, you might be teaching undergraduate, you might be supervising a course, you might be just a teaching assistantship. You might be in the lab, being in charge of a course, supervising the course. You might be supervising an undergraduate course or even a graduate course. Probably you help in grading, you help in grading assignments and quizzes and stuff like that. And you can also be a research assistant. This is where your supervisor is going to be the person who is going to be funding you based on the research output you are also putting out every month, right? And there are also other ways to fund yourself apart from assistantship. There's what we call external scholarship. These are scholarships that you can win, and it could be like this. It could be that you win the scholarship and you apply to school. Normally, I will advise if you want to apply for external scholarship, apply to external scholarship as well as you are applying to school. So if this, for instance, if you have an external scholarship and you put that in your application that you've already secured an external scholarship, there is high probability that you'll be admitted because they're not going to be the ones to be funding you. There will be a scholarship body. There are many bodies that do that. One of them is MasterCard. There is Rhodes Scholarship, Fulbright Scholarship. There are many like that. And the difference between typically the scholarship and assistantship is that in scholarship, you honestly don't have to like work for the money you are being paid. Scholarship is just like free money to finance you for your academics, right? And there's another one called fellowship. It's very close to assistantship. It's very close to external scholarship. The fellowship could also be internal or external. Um, and it's just basically you're going to be working. They're going to be the one to be paid to be financing you both for your research and for your stipend. And the only thing you need to do is any work that you do, you have to like acknowledge them. For instance, you probably after the research you're doing, you're carrying out, you publish a paper. In the acknowledgement, you need to acknowledge the fellowship that is funding your research. There could also be grants, but these are the three most common ones to fund PhD students. Yeah. So in that light, the school is going to be the one to give you the assistantship, and yeah, that's just basically that about mode of funding. Like I said, it is advised to target more assistantship as is provided by this institution. Yeah, majority of the time depends on how it's going to be. Like I said, I put external. If it's going to be external scholarship, you have to have a separate application for it, and you have your application for school also separately. So you have to be juggling between the two. And also, I think the same thing for fellowship too. But there are some partial fellowship or something that you can even qualify for while applying for graduate school. But basically, I would advise you to target more assistantship, and also you can target external scholarship just in case. The assistantship is less, I would like it. It's everything here is very competitive. You are competing against thousands, millions of people for the same sport. So I will advise you target more assistantship because many of the schools in the US, you don't necessarily, if you're applying for PhD, right, you don't necessarily have to like apply for, like have a separate application for assistantship. You don't necessarily have to do that. Majority of time, if you are qualified as a PhD student and they think about giving you admission, most of the time, not all the time, it will come with one of the assistantship, either graduate assistantship, teaching assistantship, or a research assistantship. So evidence of research and teaching experience qualify you for respective assistantship. Awesome. Yeah. I might not be able to like even talk about this right now if I have not like spoken about this before, because probably I'm all over the place. Yeah, these assistantship are very specific. Even the scholarship, they are very role specific, field specific. If I'm applying for Chevron, I think it's always to the UK. There are some MasterCard also. There are some external scholarship that are like specified to a particular area. It could be STEM, it could be chemistry, it could be chemical engineering, it could be Greek, it could be humanity. Exactly. That's the same thing that applies to assistantship too. So if you have the teaching experience, it's it serves as a qualification for you to get a teaching assistantship. If you have a work experience, that's a qualification for you to get a uh, a graduate assistantship. If you have research experience, that's a qualification for you to have a research assistantship. You see, you see why every part of your CV must reflect whatever you are trying to target. You get what I'm saying? So hence, depending on what you are targeting or applying for, you have to show either or both of them in your academic CV. So if you have work experience, you should put it there that is related to what you want to study. If you have a research experience, put it in your CV. If you have teaching experience, put it in your CV, as those are going to like qualify you for assistantship, either teaching, research, or graduate assistantship. You can also apply to external scholarship. You can also ask, or you can also ask on the school. You can also like make your research on the school about some of the fellowship you could also be qualified for. Those are like application process discussion. We are going to do that in subsequent meetings. So now I'm going to be talking about some of the section required in academic CV. Like I would say, just a note, doesn't mean you have to fit everything into your academic CV. If you don't have, take it out, strengthen yourself in the place that you are. It's just a generic way, it's just a generic structure of an academic CV. So you can take some things out if you don't have them, and like put in something and just put in those that you think you have, that you know that you can sell yourself on. We already have any messages. Okay. Yeah. Any questions so far before I move to the section of the academic CV?
I have a question.
Okay, great.
Okay, does it mean that like after going for the scholarship or this going for this assistantship or graduate and teaching research assistantship, does this come after actually getting the scholarship, or you have to start doing all this before even getting the scholarship?
I don't understand what you say. What your question?
Okay, I said going for all these for the assistantship, does it
Going
comes
for
after? Yes.
okay, okay, I understand what you're asking. Probably the way you're asking it is probably a little bit premature, but it's okay. I get it. I understand. Assistantship is a means of funding that is going to be funding you if you get admission, right? You're not going for anything, right? It's just that if you can get admission without funding, right? How are you going to fund yourself? How are you going to be paying for your tuition? How are you going to be paying for your how are you going to be paying for living expenses generally? That is what the assistantship are all about. And basically, it's majority of time is like given to you by the school based on your qualification. That is what they call funding. That's what they call like they are assisting you. They're paying your tuition because you are a qualified student and they see potential in you, and they're going to be paying you stipend to sustain yourself for your upkeep. So you don't go for it majorly, like you just in your application, if what you're targeting is assistantship, in your application, you make yourself be that uh be that qualified student that they will be willing to like want to invest in. They will be like eager to want into their program, right? You get what I'm saying?
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you
Does
very
that
much.
answer your question, or you want me to broaden it?
No, yes, exactly. You answered it.
Okay, yeah, let me just proceed. Some of the section required in your academic CV. The first one is your personal details. Yeah, what I want to see in your personal details is your full name, your phone number, your address, probably your email, and your LinkedIn profile. The link to your LinkedIn profile. And this should be at the top of the first page of your academic CV. I hope you guys are like jotting stuff because I'm still gonna like I'm going to explain this and I'm going to also demonstrate it. I'm going to like show you what I'm talking about. So should I just do that right now? Yeah, this is it. This is what I'm talking about. your surname first, your middle name, and your other name. Your address, right? Give us your address, your email, and your phone number. You can arrange it however you want, but please look at this. Your surname first, your middle name, and your other name. What I mean is, my surname is Aziz Bakinyemi. I'll just put comma. My middle name is, I have that, and my other name is like my first name. That's what I'm going to put at the back. So if you look at it, it's all in capital letter. Please, it's all in capital letter. It's all in capital letter. So that's just basically that. Yeah. Like I was saying, I will just run through these and use that as an example. Your personal statement, what we need is your first name, your phone number, your address, your email, and your LinkedIn profile, the link to your LinkedIn profile, if you have one. If you don't, I will advise you just don't put it. But I will advise you go and open a LinkedIn profile. So as for your email, I think I've said this many times. I said for this application process, you need to open a new email, a fresh email. Did you guys remember me saying open another email that will comprise of only your name? All this sexy, this omogboro at 99@yahoo.com. No, open a new email that comprises of your name, your first name, and your last name. akinyemiaziz@gmail.com. Open a separate mail that you're going to be using for application only. So now to the second one, your education background is one of the things you should have there. Starting from your bachelor's degree above. You shouldn't go and be writing your secondary school education, telling us that you graduated, and you went to Ajeli local nursery and primary school, then you went to something secondary school. We are not interested in that. From your bachelor's degree upward, if you have a bachelor's degree, let us know where you have it at and all that. If you have a master's, put it in there too. So there is no need for a primary or secondary school background. If you have done a master's or a direct entry into the university, this must be included in your CV chronologically. Yeah, this is it. Chronologically, that is the polytechnic or A-level education after bachelor's degree and master's before bachelor's degree. What I'm saying is that chronologically, I mean from if you have a polytechnic degree, let me say an HND in 2024, let me say 2020, and you have a bachelor's in 2024, and you have a master's in 2025, the first thing you are going to write is the newest. You structure your CV according to the newest. Like you start from the one that start with the one that ended in 2025 before you move to the one that ended in 2024, before you move to the one that ended in 2020. That is very important. It's a very vital information when we are talking about your CV. So the next thing after that is you talk about your research interest. This is going to be a very big challenge for people. And like I said, this can be changed depending on the research focus area available in the school you're applying to. This is very simple. If I'm applying to let me say I'm applying to the University of Rochester and I'm applying to chemical engineering department and they're working on CO2, probably mineralization, and I want to apply to that school. My research interest must reflect what I have done and what they are doing in that school. You understand? It must be that school specific. It must be specific to that school. That's why you must not submit to, you typically should not submit one CV for two schools. You should not submit one SOP for many schools. One CV, one SOP for one school. If you want to apply to another school, make small editing to your SOP and CV to personalize it to that school you want to apply to. So if you are trying to apply to another school, these are some of the areas you have to change your research interest. I will show you that a description of what that means later. And I think I'll also show you how you can like find it. Where can you find it? Also, research experience. The information required, like what I mean by research experience, I mean, what have you done? Majority of the time, this research experience will always be what you did in your final year project. Your final year project, what you did there. Then also some of the research you have performed while being an undergraduate or during your master's. Yeah. And also, many people will be like, I didn't really do much during my, but you guys, if you're an engineering student or science student, you always go to lab, you always do experiment. These are also research experience. So you can also put that in your CV to like lighten it up a little bit. So what are the information required in your research experience? We need research group or the laboratory. We need to know the name of the research group or the laboratory. For instance, let's say we are not even talking about your final year research. We are talking about some of the research you took, some of the lab you took with some courses. For instance, let's say you did a course called ME 201, and a part of that course, you have to also do laboratory experiment. You can say the name of the lab is your unit operation lab, depending on what you are calling that in your school. That's the name of the lab. Where is it located? I'm just using Ogumosho as an example because I'm from Ogumosho too. Like I went to school in Ogumosho. So I said the name of the lab is unit operation lab. Location is in Ogumosho. What is my role there? My role is an undergraduate assistant, right? Or yeah, undergraduate research assistant. And the title of the project is like probably we are trying to test the stress and strain of a particular material. There should be a name you should be able to give that this is actually what we are trying to do as the title of the research. Then you can give us 2 or 3, maximum of 3, minimum of 2, maximum of 3 bullet points to express, to tell us what you did, right? To tell us what you did. I will also explain that very, very well later. So let's move to teaching and mentorship experience. I believe you guys are like jotting stuff down. Definitely, you should. Yeah, let's move on. We're talking about teaching and mentorship experience. You can add this information regarding your roles as an undergraduate academic tutor in this section or any other teaching experience that you have. Some of us, we always organize when we are undergraduate, we always organize tutorial for our mates, we always organize tutorial in our faculty, in our department. Some of us organize tutorial even in the faculty. These are like leadership experience, these are teaching experience, these are mentorship experience. Even your mentorship experience could be some of the things few things you did in your church. Probably you are a something coordinator that you teach undergraduates, you tutor undergraduates, you mentor undergraduates. You can put this in there. This is a draft of your CV. You are going to remove many unuseful things, but at least at first, when you start writing it, put everything there. You then sit down, you be like, what is not important, what is not related to my academic journey, then you remove those things out, and the one that you feel like are important, then you buttress on them. Also, industrial or work experience. Yeah, if you're a STEM student or you're an engineering student, there's something we call CWES or IT. And NYSA is also a very good work experience that is related to your research interest. Look what I said here. I said this could include IT, CWES, even SWEP. I don't know if they do that again. Even there is SWEP that you do right from your 200 level to your 400 level before you go for your real CWES. You do SWEP every section, I think so. Those are also work experience. What you did during your SWEP, you can use that as a work experience and use the same format that you use for your research experience also for your work experience. Am I making any sense before I proceed too long?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
If you have a question, you can just raise up your hand and like probably drop your question in the chat box. I can check it out. So the next one I will talk about is awards and recognitions. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to have all this in your SOP, in your CV. Check it out. Look at the one that you have. You can even put all this in your as an heading in your CV, right? Then you can look at, do I have this? Do I have this? If I don't, remove them, then continue and start building it. I'm just giving you a very wide structural background so that you can you will know what you're supposed to even write on, right? So now I'm going to be proceeding to the awards and recognition. If you don't have any awards, this is so for this. Some of us will be like, yeah, throughout my undergraduate, I didn't have any award. Please and please, when I'm talking about award, I mean academic related award. I don't want to hear the classiest, the most beautiful, the life of the party, best dress, money bag, all those things. Now, what we need to know about you regarding the award, everything you are putting here should be related to what you want to apply to academics, right? Like I used to tell my students some trick. If you don't have any award, right, not all of us are going to be awarded or recognized for our hard work. You can go through your results, the results you collected from 100 level to 500 level. Check your courses, go through your transcript, check your courses. Look at the result that you have 80 and above. Go and check it out. Not, for instance, some of you are very good students. You have 18 and above in more than half or like 70% of your result. You don't need to put that. If you have other recognition, you can put that in. But if you don't have, the best way to write is go to your results, go and check some of the results you have, some of the results that you have 80 and above, and write it as best in fundamental mechanics, best in statistical thermodynamics. But you will now put date in front of it so that if you are going to be starting from 500 level, so the first thing you are going to be asked, if you have anything that is good, and it's related to the research that they want to, that it's related to your research interest, put it as number one, from starting from 500 level, the newest. Then you go down probably to your 100 level, to the oldest. You get what do you get what I'm saying? So also, if you have a publication, yeah, in a section called publication, for this section, if you can add your published work with a link to that work, right? You can add your published work with a link to that work. If you don't have any, you can add your undergraduate project. At least everybody has an undergraduate project, and put it under non-referred section of the publication. If you have another undergraduate project, if your undergraduate project is under review for publication, you can add it under the under review subsection instead. If you have any other project or work submitted for a conference or competition, you can add those under non-referred section. Let me break this down for you guys. I know this might be a little bit complicated and new to you. So under this section called publication, it's a very big section that recruiter or admission committee always look at, like, have you been doing some work? So for instance, let me put it in, let's say I have the first step is, I put it as my actual heading for that section is publication. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the actual heading is publication in capital letter. You know, like, I don't have any paper I've published. Let me say I have paper I've published. I will put the citation of the paper. For instance, the name of the author, the title of this. I'm going to like explain that using that paper, using that template as an example. Right? I will put that. So I'll put, if I have three, I'll put all the three, and I'll put probably the DOI of the digital online identifier of that paper in there, in that in under each paper. I will put it there. So let's now assume I don't have any, or let me assume that it has not. Let me start with the first assumption. It has not been published, but I've submitted it. I will now go, instead of, if I have publication, I will write a subheading, and I will call it under review. That is publication under review. Then I will list all those papers that I've submitted under review. Let's now assume that I don't have papers submitted, but I did a final year project, or I did some work. Like, for instance, if you're a chemical student, there's something we call 504, which is chemical engineering design project that you have to do. Is a project on its own, and 507, and I don't know the other one, is your actual thesis project. So these two projects, you can add it as a non-referred, that is, you have not been published, but you have done it. You can add the details under your non-referred publication. So some other things you can put in there is the skills that you've acquired, your leadership experience, if you have old leadership position, the professional bodies that you are associated with. For instance, I think I'm associated with a lot of professional bodies, from SPE to NSCHE to NSE to, if you are associated with any professional body, put the professional body there and your membership ID. Volunteering experience that you have, you can put it there. Also online courses and certification that you've taken, put it there and put the link to those certifications. Try as much as possible to streamline this to only course related to your course of study. Like in these online courses, you are applying to energy related stuff, or let me say the renewable energy related stuff, and you are talking about online course in agriculture. It doesn't make any sense. Everything must sound well, must align. So additional section you can add is conferences attended and presentation. These are additional sections. If you look at this, I gave you like 14 sections just for 2 pages. You see, that's crazy. I gave you 14 sections just for 2 pages. So it's now up to you to like look at the section that you have, look what are you looking for, and pick out of these 14 ones that you want to like put into your CV. So there is a note here that says, for each experience under any section. What I mean by section, I mean like, for instance, if you are talking about your presentation, your academic journey and all that. Say you have 2 experience under research experience. For instance, you have 2 experience under research experience. Highlight 2 or more activities experience gained during the research. Try to use the verbs in the verb to use in CV documents. Okay. So this is what this note is saying. It said, let me go back to your research experience. Let's say in this research experience, I've worked in my master's. I have research experience during my master's. I have research experience during my undergraduate. So for each research experience, after I've labeled it out, I talked about the research group that I did the research, the location, my roles, the title of the research. I should be able to like give at least 2 bullet points of not what I did, of the experience I gained. Are you understanding? CV should not be like I did. It should not be what you did. It should be what you gained from what you did. So you understand, it's not just a storytelling. It's more or less like a concise way of showing your capability. You must have at least 2 bullet points to discuss each experience, and your bullet point should not be more than maximum 2 lines. Maximum, no matter what you're writing. Maximum 2 lines of each bullet point, and minimum of 2 bullet points per experience, maximum of 3 bullet points per experience. Your bullet points ideally should be just 1 line, 1.5, and maximum 2 lines. Please, do anybody understand what I just explained? I'm trying to take it very easy with you guys because I believe probably this might be the first time someone is explicitly describing what your SOP should look like to you. So if you understand what I just explained, let me just pick a candidate to Zainab Adeleke. Can you unmute yourself and like explain what I just explained now? I mean, relating to the note. You can unmute yourself. Are you with us?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, madam. Yeah. Can you explain what I meant by this? Like I said, for each experience under any section, for instance, I use research experience as an example. Let's say you have 2 experience under those sections, under your research experience. I say you should highlight 2 activities or experience that you've gained while doing that research. Minimum of 2, maximum of 3. Can you just give me a brief understanding of what I said?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. It's the little I've heard now. And hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay, about the research, I can just give an example of maybe when we are in 500 level, the project that we did, the research that we carried out. Like now, I did research on rice production because I studied agric in school. So it's the research I've done. I could just give the summary of what we did so far in the research. Am I getting it right, sir?
Exactly. Good. That's awesome. I honestly am not expecting you to understand everything at once, but you have a lot of questions when you start actually writing your CV. Please note this and remind me later. Verbs to use in your CV is another document I came up with for you guys. You can ask me for this document. You can ask on the group for this document, all this document that I'm sharing with you, so that you can have it. That can be, how will I put it? That can be a template for you to like ask to tailor your CV to be like a library for you. So you will know, okay, I'm in this place. What are the things I'm supposed to do? What are the things I'm not supposed to do? So the second note is that also, based on what you are applying for, the most valuable experience should come first. Are you getting me? Let's say you've reached out to the you want to apply to you are trying to apply for assistantship generally. You don't know what you might be given. For instance, I was given both research and teaching assistantship when I gained admission to this school. So I'm doing both research and teaching assistantship. But right now I'm only doing just research. When I entered, it was both. Right? So basically I was targeting assistantship. So if I'm doing that, those experiences are going to be some of the top sections that I'm going to have in my CV. What I'm saying is this: after my personal details, which is common, which is the same thing which is important for everybody, mandatory. I spoke about my education background. Then my experiences should follow. Like for instance, research experience, followed by teaching experience, followed by work experience. That's what I'm trying to say here. Saying that, I said also based on what you're applying for, if you're applying for you're applying for assistantship, the most valuable experience should come first. That is, if you're applying for teaching assistantship role, your teaching experience should come immediately after your educational background. I believe I make that easy as possible. Please, if you don't understand my notes, let me know now. I'm going to share this document with you. Ask anybody on the group that will share it with you. But I am trying to explain this document so that it will not just be a piece of document to you. It will be you will understand what I'm saying. If you don't understand what I mean by these 2 notes, please let me know because they are very important. Can I move on? You can
Yes.
drop a
Yes, sir.
okay. You can drop a reaction for me to know if I can move on. So any question before I proceed?
Yes, I have a question.
Awesome.
Okay, so the experience part, you said we should like put it in bullet points, minimum
Yeah.
of 2 and maximum of 3. So
Yeah.
for example now, if I want to write that I successfully taught like mathematics or physics, am I going to like personalize it? Like, is it going to be like I successfully taught these subjects?
Awesome. Yeah, don't worry. I would have loved to explain it now, but I won't because I still have another place I will explain that in details. Right now, I'm just giving you a broad overview. That is
Okay.
where the verbs to use in CV comes in.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's where the verbs to use in CV comes in. If it's an achievement, if it's a leadership, then everything is there. I will show you all that too. Now, let me go to formatting of CV. This is very important. I don't know if, like I used to say, you guys might not appreciate this that much, but any single information being passed here are crucial. This is not just someone coming up with bunch of shades, bunch of things. It is based on experience, based on what we have done over the years, based on what has worked for people, right? So when you are trying to like come up with, you can ask on the group, right? You can ask on the group. Oh, I don't even need to. 99% of you, at least you saw what we have been achieving on the group. We started like this. As you can see, you saw the date on this document. This document was written in April 2024. It's almost a year. It was written in April 2024. So it's what we are using on the group, the same knowledge we are passing across. The funny thing is that you guys now have access to documentation that you have access to documentation, you have access to videos. Then I ensure we don't have videos so that people can pay attention. And people come to class too. So when you want to format your CV, I advise you use Word documents. And I also advise you don't use text, what do you call it? Is it text edit on Word document? You don't use that boxy thing that you will be typing on. No. So this is what I said, formatting of CV. The content of your CV must be bold enough to be easily. Content of your CV must be bold enough so that people can see it. Just because you want to fit too many things in there doesn't mean you have to like reduce the font to an unseeable situation. Don't go and be using 8, 7 fonts. You must write your CV in Times New Roman. And all your fonts, no matter what the font you are going to be using, no matter what you're writing, must be greater than or equals to 10. That is, all the fonts you must use must be greater than or equals to 10. And I will explain this better later when I'm showing you a template of a CV. All documents submitted during application must be sent as a PDF. All your documents, you should never send any document as Word document or any format except PDF. Because if you send your document, for instance, you send your Word document, I think I'm using 2024, 2025 Word document, Word processor, what is it called? MS Word. And you are using 2016. If you send your 2016 to my 2024, the format might scattered. Seriously. So if your format is scattered, you are not giving a very good impression. And I might decide not to even check your CV. So all documents you are going to be sending, no matter what the document, even if it's your certificate, anything you're going to be sending in your application must be in PDF format. Please, I'm stressing that. This is to prevent the issue of document scattering when it's opened by another version of MS Word if it was sent in document or docs format. That's what I just said. Academic CV must not be longer than 2 pages. No matter what you're writing, it must not be longer than 2 pages. The content of your CV must be written chronologically. That is the most recent based on the date first. That is, what I'm saying is your CV must be written from the most recent experience of your most recent achievement to the oldest achievement. And when I said your CV must not be longer than 2 pages, yes, I know it's an awesome. It's very difficult, but we have a way we always go about it in the group. I will advise you when you are writing your CV, when you are coming up with idea to write your CV, don't care about the 2 pages. Please quote me anywhere. Do not care about the 2 pages. Write everything you want to write, finish. Then format it and start chopping it down small, until you are able to put it into 2 pages. Your CV could be as long as 8 pages when you are starting to write it. So once you are done once you started writing, okay, that's my first draft. Then I'm applying to this school. What should I remove? Let me remove this section out. I listed 3 things here. Let me make it 2 out. this place that I put bullet point, I don't need to put bullet point. I can just list all these experiences as one. Let me remove all the bullet points. You chop it down until you are able to achieve your 2 pages. Yeah. So if you want to send your academic CV or any of your documents for review, you send it to the group email, which is this. And this is going to be the end of this part of the presentation. If you have any question on anything I've said right now before I move to the other one, please ask me.
Thank you so much for this session. I want to ask that how often should we like send our CV?
You don't send your CV often. To what? Sorry. To what?
Like to the group mail. You just said now that we can send it to the group mail.
Before you send your CV to the group mail,
Yes.
ensure you abide by the major reason I'm going to be giving you this document and all other document that we have is to ensure that you look at it, you correct 90% of your mistake before you send it to us. Then we are going to tell you that, okay, these are the things you can also improve. If you're having challenges about probably you've written 8 pages, you've been able to chop it down to 3 pages, and you don't know what to like remove again, you can contact us you can send a mail, right? Or you can send a mail, or you can even talk about it on the group. The volunteers for CV and SOP reviewing are going to answer you. They will ask you to send your CV, and even me personally, I've done it for many people to help them like remove some things, because sometimes it might be difficult. You will not even know what to remove again, but it must not be more than 3 pages. If you have a 3 pages CV, I can easily help you bring it down to 2 pages. But if you have a 8 pages CV, you have to do the work for yourself first. Because if I'm going to be removing stuff, I will just remove a lot of stuff that you think is important. So it's 90% based on you. I want you guys to sit down. The CV is so important. Your CV, it's so important. It's the first impression of you. So which is why you have to take your time, sit down, work on it very well. Take this section one after the other, ensure that it looks like rules, all the rules and regulations, you abide by it. You review your CV first before you send it to the group email for review. And the soonest you do that, the best, to be honest, because everybody is busy, you understand. So, let me see.
I have a question.
Okay, what else?
When you were talking about, I don't know if I got you right, when you're talking about the research experience, you talked about the research itself, the location, and then the role, and then the title of the thesis. Now, when you talked about the role, was that where you said, when we are trying to like make the bullet points, was that where you said it has to be like the experience gained and not just the activities carried out, like the experience gained, when you're talking about the roles that you played?
Okay, you're Cynthia, right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Madam Cynthia. I'm also not gonna like answer your question right now. You can drop your question on the chat box, because I believe I'm still gonna like cover all those questions, and it's gonna be much more clearer to you.
Okay.
But in case I forget, put it in the chat box, and I will answer that if you still have if this question is still bothering you after the section.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now we want us to move on to the do and don't of writing an academic CV. You see, I gave you the structure. I gave you what you need to do, how you need to write your CV. And I'm giving you what you should do again and what you should not even include in your CV. The do and don't of your academic CV. The first one is start your CV with some information about yourself. This includes address, phone number, email, and LinkedIn profile link. I've said this. Your contact address comes first before any other personal details in your header. Remember to use a professional email in your academic CV. I swear, if you see the way I did this, I'm buttressing a lot of stuff. I said professional email. Don't use sexymelato at hotmail.com. OG before IG at yahoo.com. Use an email that encompasses your name. I advise all my students that please and please create another email, a separate email for application, and let it be your first name, your last name at gmail.com. Let's say, for instance, if someone else is using that, or probably you have done that before, you can put a number in front. For instance, your first name, your last name, 011 1001. Don't go and use 419, please. Don't use 419 because 419 is equivalent to fraud. So don't go and use 419. Use maximum of 1, 2, maximum of 3 numbers in front of your name before at gmail.com. A very professional email. Your name is very important. Ensure that your name is bold in uppercase with high font size, and it contains your full name, that is your first name, your last name, your first name, and your middle name consecutively. I think I've explained this too, right? What I'm saying is your name, your surname should come first, be your last name, then your first name, then your middle name consecutively. Arrange the body of your CV into different subsections. What I'm saying here is research interest, which is what I've talked to you. Research interest, education, research experience, teaching experience, work experience, publication, volunteering, volunteering and leadership experience, certification, skills, award, conferences, workshop attended, and put an underline below each subheading. Put an underline below each subheading. It might be difficult for you to understand what I'm saying. Let me just read this out. This is what I'm saying. Underline below each subheading. Okay. And the next one is ensure to put enough research interest, but don't put too much. Exactly. Thank God. I might not even remember to say this if I didn't put this down. Ensure to put enough research interest, not research experience. Research interest is what you want to do. Ensure to put enough. For instance, yeah, I will explain this later. There's a lot I'm going to explain later. I hope I remember. Let me just try to explain it. Your research interest is what I want to do, what they are doing in that school, and what you want to do. So you don't just write one research interest. You should write at least 3 to 6. Like majority of time, let me say 3 to 6 maximum research interest under your research experience. Let me look at this person. Research interest, data science, but they must be related. You should not write data science and write mechanical engineering. You get what I'm saying? It's more related. If you look at this, data science, data mining, healthcare analytics, predictive model, spiral statistics, Bayesian statistics, statistical computing, text mining. You see, these are correlated interest. I will also explain why using this, how you can get it. How you can be able to be like, okay, I don't know what to put. How do I go about it? I will explain it here. Okay. In your education subheading, go from recent education certification to your oldest education certification. If for example, you did national diploma before your BTech, then BTech comes first, then followed by your national diploma. So I think you can check this out yourself. These are the do and don'ts of CV. Yeah, let me just talk about some of the don'ts. This document is just explaining the previous documents we've actually talked about. When creating your header, don't put the whole URL of your LinkedIn into there, right? Add a link features. I'm going to explain this too. Seriously, you guys can, I believe you guys can go through this document yourself. It's just, this document is just like further explaining the previous documents the meeting summary, this document that we just finished. The second document, the do and don'ts, is just further explaining it. So when you have this document yourself, when you've gone through it yourself, I don't expect you to have a CV that is not competitive. You get what I'm saying? Because everything is clearly stated to you. So now let me go to the second to the last document here. I'm not going to be explaining it verbatim, I'm just going to give you this document. This document is called verbs that should be used in your CV to express yourself. For instance, if you have an achievement, instead of you saying I, you don't use I. There's nothing like I or we. You don't personalize in CV. For instance, you can use the word accomplished, achieved, activated, attained, completed, earned, effected. These are some of the, you see, these are all past tense. Upgraded, succeeded, streamlined. If you're talking about your achievement about something, these are some of the verbs that you should use to start your sentence. If you understand what I said use it to start. You use verb to start your bullet points. So these are some of the verbs you need to use. If you help or cheat, you can talk about you advised, you clarified, you coached, you collaborated, you consulted, you educate, you explain, you facilitated, you guide, you help, you instructed, you modeled, you participated, you taught, you trained, you tutored. For teaching experiences. For administrative experiences, this is more or less like work experience. Arranged, channeled, chatted, collect, purchased, recorded. These are just some of the verbs you can use. For leadership experience, we have lead and manage. You acquired, you administered, you approved, you assigned, you supervised, you selected, you reviewed, you retained. These are some of the verbs. For communication, in case of probably speaking experience or probably you speak in conferences or presentations, you addressed, you briefed, you communicated, you conducted. These are some of the verbs you can use. For organization, these are also some of the verbs. For creativity, these are verbs. Author, these are verbs. For research and analytical, these are verbs. For finances, these are verbs. Depends on what you do. You know, all of us are not STEM students. For people in accounting or finances, there are some other things you can use here. Also, technicality, you built, you computed, you can also use all these verbs. You use these verbs to start your bullet points. So I know there is going to be a lot of questions, and I'm going to open floor for you to ask your questions, but I'm just showing you this document for now. Now I'm going to like show you a template of a CV for one of my mentee. She recently got fully funded admission. Also, she's one of the few people that have gotten admission because things are kind of difficult here in the US recently. Yeah. Please, any question before I proceed? Because I want you guys to ask questions. If you don't ask questions in here, then you have not been following me.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, about the research interest. In the past, we've been writing it in form of like sentence, like I don't know, like form of summary. Is this better?
Now, it's better to specifically state out your research interest instead of like writing it out. This is the problem, because if you're applying to a school, you might not be talking to just one professor, and you don't want it to feel like everything you're saying is tailored towards one professor. You might be talking to multiple professors, maximum of 3, to be honest, in a department. So you can put their research interest together, and you can send this same CV to all of them instead of writing a research interest that you only want to do. Like I used to say, you don't stand on your point of view alone. You have to be at your point of view. This is what I want to do, and what the school that you want to apply to, do they have something that relates to what you want to do? Then you have to like find a correlation and be like, okay, this is it. It aligns with what I want to do, and it aligns with what the school wanted. Right? That's how to come up with your research interest. So I believe that answers your question.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I believe I've explained almost everything about CV, but I'm still going to just use this as an example. Like you see, surname. This is your header. There are different ways to write header. You don't necessarily need to write it like this. You can write your surname. You can put your address in one side, put your email in one side. You can write it any way you want, but your surname should be as big as possible at the top. I always advise 16 fonts. I always advise 16 fonts. Please note that it's very important. I mean the surname, and this I always advise, I think 12 for everything in here.
So I have a question.
Okay.
My question is, we'll be tailoring our CV according to the school interest, like the school we are.
Trying to apply to, yeah, actually, this is the funniest thing about CV. If your CV is well written and you're applying in the same research area, there's something they call research area, there's something they call research interest. If you're applying in the same research area, for instance, my research area is in energy, but I have research interest in catalysis, in biokinetic modeling, in water purification, in material recovery, and all other research interests, right? Those are research interests. But the broader area is sustainability, right? Energy sustainability for energy. So that is the basics. If you're applying to the same research area, that almost everything you're going to be putting there is going to be the same thing. You don't need to change much. But this is the most important thing you need to be changing in your CV, your research interest. Because no matter what, it's going to be varying from school to school. It might even be varying from supervisor to supervisor, but majority of the time from school to school. But every other thing can be the same. You are applying to the same research area. Because are you going to like change the experience you already have, or the school? You cannot change the school you went to, of course, right? So majority of this is going to be the same thing. However, your research interest is only the area you should be changing if you are sticking to the same research area. I believe I'm able to answer that question.
That is fine, sir.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, the first part is what? I've been repeating the same thing for 3 times now. Is your son, is your header. So you start with your surname, bold as possible. You see the way it's bolded. Where bolded? This should be 16 fonts times New Roman. All this, you can make it 12. So your education, if you are using education, it should be, that's the first thing, education, your education background should be 14. This should be times New Roman 14. This, the name of your school, the name of the school you attended, this probably the state and the country. Look at the way it was formatted. What degree do you achieve? You can write it any way. You don't necessarily have to write Bachelor of Science in Statistics. You can write it any way you want. Just make sure you have your degree here, and you can write your grade here. This is just a template, right? There are many other templates in the not really templates, some other people students' CVs, which I don't, in the group drive. You can also look that up. That will help you a lot. So the dates, this is the format you're going to use. The dates that you started and the date that you ended it. Again, if this is for your bachelor's degree, if you have a master's degree, you add it in front and you follow the same format. So the same thing for your research experience. You can do this in many ways. You can list it 4, you can do it 2, you can list it in 1 line 4, just find a way to make it interesting. So the same thing with your research experience. I believe there is something I might, okay, let me just continue. I will show you that later. Your research experience, the first thing is the name of the lab or where you get the research, the location. I think this is what Madam Cynthia was asking. The location is a UNIZIK. You can write the name of your university, University of Uyo. What is your role? Graduate research assistant. From when to when? Like timeline. From May 2023 to August 2023. Title of the research, utilization of this, and 2 or minimum of 2 and maximum of 3. You must not give 1 bullet point. It's better you don't give bullet point at all than give 1 bullet point. Maximum of 3, minimum of 2. Your bullet point must not be more than 2 lines. Look at this. 1 line, 1.5, or maximum 2 lines. And in your bullet point, it must be quantitative. There must be a percentage of what, like numbers. If I was able to 50%, I will show you that later. If you look at this person, he said implemented. If you go and look at the verbs that I showed you now, implemented and calibrated the this of this regarding to this research. Generated, forecast. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this?
Yes, sir. Yes.
It's everything I've been saying, right? Generated forecasts for future values and all this. I don't know much about this experience, but I can easily edit this CV any day, any night. I don't need to know your research before I edit or condemn your CV. Look at this. This is another research experience. It said, and the name of the lab is Data Intelligence Research Unit, UNIZAC. The same format, undergraduate research assistants. Talked about it, the research that they did, talked about it, insights and analysis research group for the third one. Don't let it be too much. Maximum, I don't know why, maximum should be like, it should be like 2, 3 maximum. So look at this person. It jumped from your research experience to your what? Teaching experience. You don't need to format it this way, depending on what you want. Look at the way he did. Department of Statistics, the same format. Thoughts. Are you seeing that? Assisted. Encouraged. Look at the same thing. Educated, introduced, something like that. Also, the same thing for the work experience, the same format. But sometimes you just have to list them if there's too much, but that is the story of another day. Once, just do it like this. If you're able to come up with this, you can edit your CV later. This is another one, work experience. It was done in Div Career. And look at the date. Look at it. Look at this. In this section, just one. In this section, August 2023 is earlier than December 2022, and that is earlier than September 2020. You see, this is what I mean by chronological order. Now reverse chronological, something like that. Look at this also. This was started in 2019, which is like older. This was started in 2021. You see that? The oldest, like this is the newest experience that you have. You get what I'm saying? The same thing with work experience. February 2024 dash present. You can use this, but please don't use till date. Till. This is another thing I must chip in. Don't use till date. Use to date, not till date. Am I communicating? So again, in your bullet point, this is very important. Your bullet point should be quantifiable, because you cannot just tell us you are doing something. Look at what this person did here. Increased community engagement. Increased, you see, go and check the verb, you'll find it there. You can use other verbs that you want. Increased community engagement by over 60%. You give us the effect, you quantify your effect. It must be quantifiable. Over 60%. Look at that. Pioneered over 500 students or 500 members. You must be able to be like the number of people you are able to reach out to. You must quantify your impact. Does this look like what I do? It's what I was able to do, or what I learned from working in this place. I was able to increase the community engagement by over 60%. This is a great work, right? Also, pioneered over 500 people. You don't need to put it in every place, but it should reflect. There must be a sprinkle of that in your CV. Mentored, you see this, over 100 newcomers, ensuring they build portfolio for success in their careers. You see that? This is another one. Extracted insights from database of 70,000 customers, resulting in 80% sales increase via targeted ad. Can you see all this? It was well written. Look at these two. The same thing, compared, developed, and it follows the same process. The name of where you get the experience, your role in there, the location of the place, the time of your this thing, and your experience. That is the same thing it's followed. So in awards, award and recognitions, this is the award the person got. You look at this second best in Wikipedia. This is personal. I don't know much about this. Look at the publication. So let me explain this publication aspect. If you have a publication that has been published, you come here, Chinedu, this is the name of the person, you put your name, but this is how you write a citation. The name of the authors, the year, after the name of the authors, as it appears in the publication, you can even download the citation. Go to your publication and download your citation. The year of publication, the name of the publication, the title of the publication, and this is like easily. Let me just make it your life easier. If you have a publication, click on find your publication online, download your citation, and put it here. Then you can edit it to suit like this. Then you bold your name out so that they can see your name there. These are the girl's name. This is the girl's name. The girl's name. The same thing if you have attended conferences and you presented, write your name out, follow the same protocol. Look at this. This should be in italic. Like, I mean, the title of your paper should be, oh, sorry, the name of the, how will I put it? The journal, the name of the journal should be what? Should be italic. Look at this. This is in italics. These are the things you need to pay attention to. I know it's a lot of information. This video will be available. All these documents are going to be available. I expect you to have gone through everything you need to go through, come up with your CV before you send it to the email, so that we can help you have a final look at it. Not like help you write a CV. No one is going to help you write a CV. You do the work. That's why I'm taking my time to like put in this effort. You do the work. We help you finalize. Okay, this is good enough. Or no, go and change this. Go and edit this. So that's it. If you want to put the name of even this place now, I'm saying some of the errors because this should be in italics, honestly. So now if you can make your conferences more what is it called, more credible by adding the link to that conference, probably what you presented in there. I will explain this sooner. Look at what this presented. People presented. She highlighted some of the things, some of her skills. She put it like this. Some of her leadership experience. If you look at what she did here, served as this, she could easily have put bullet point, but there's no more space. So she like just lists some of her leadership experience. What was this person's aim in writing this CV? She wants to, these are what she wants to bring out. She wants to show her research interest, research experience, teaching experience, work experience, awards, publication, conferences, and skills. So the leadership, she has to put it because there's no more space. Leadership experience, volunteer experience, and some professional certification that the person had. Basically, that's just it. Again, one last thing I would like to chip in. If you look at this CV very well, you will see that the bullet points, not only the bullet point, this name, the first thing, Nnamdi Azikiwe, advanced, data, insight, everything aligned. Do you see that? Everything aligned on the same line. Now look at the bullet point. The bullet point also do what? They aligned on the same vertical line, aligned, perfectly aligned. Do you see that? That is how to write your CV. Again, another thing is, once immediately you write the place you are working or the place you have the experience, your research, your role should be in italics. You see that? This was in italics. This was in italics. A lot of information. If I'm about you, I'll be jotting a lot. You see, the rows are italics. Yeah, this is italic. So this person did not even put, or probably I removed it. The person did not even put a LinkedIn profile. So the last thing I'm gonna like just bring out before I let you guys ask questions, because I know you're gonna ask questions. I will show you one how to put this underline, because many people always struggle with it. How to put this underline. One, how to include, let's say you don't know, let me see if this person did it. No. Let's say, for instance, now you, oh no, let me find it. Okay, yeah, you went to a conference and you want to show probably the poster of the conference, and you want to add the link to where the poster is. I can help you with that. I will show you how you can do that, so that you can click the link and it will take them to where the poster is. And also, if you have a LinkedIn profile that you want to put a LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile in here, you know, LinkedIn is going to be like a very long distance. You can change it to a link distance. Let me just go to Word document. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
You see, it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of information. So let's say, for instance, I look at where my paper starts. Look at this. My paper is starting from here. There is a lot of space here. I always do something. I'll come here. Go to layout. I'm teaching you guys too many things. It's like I'm feeding you. Go to layout. Come to margin. Are you seeing my screen? Come to margin. Come down. You see customize margin. You are talking about portrait. Look at top, bottom, left, right. I always advise look, this is 2.5 centimeter. Make everything 1 centimeter. You can, if your own is in inches, you can convert it. I don't want to like be sure. This is not exact. I don't know how to use Windows again. This is not exact. This is not Microsoft Word tutorial, so I don't need to tell you how you're going to change it to centimeter. You can't find the conversion of whatever. If your own is in inches, you can't find the conversion to 1 centimeter and put it there. So once you have this, come to OK. So if you look at my bullet point, this thing now, look at where it is. Do you see that? Instead of being here before, it was around here before. It was around here before. It was around this side. So now it's all the way up here. So again, and don't use space. Oh. Again, don't use space. Don't use, I mean, I don't know how to put this. Don't use space. Don't be like, okay, let me just use that as an example. Right? This is my name. I bold it, Control B. Then I want to change it to Times New Roman. I should have said this Times New Roman. Right? I said I want to make it 16. Now 16. And I want to make it to be centered. I should not be like, sorry. I should not be using. You see what I'm saying? Don't use this. If you want to make something centered, highlight it like this. Come to this place. Can you see my screen? Press Control E. Control E means centered. It will put it at the middle of the page. And again, if you want to indent, something, let's say I wrote my name again. I like my name too much. Right? And I bold it like this. Control B. I bold it like this. Then I want to write something under it, and I want it to have indent. Instead of me doing tab like this, 1, 2, no, use tab. If you look at your window, you will see where the right TAB. use tab. When you use tab, it will make your CV aligned. What you're going to be writing will be aligned. Then you can be like, write anything. Use tab, bullet points. Let your bullet point be consistent. Again, your bullet point must be consistent. Don't use this now and go and later you go and use another one. If you want to use this one, use it all through. If you want to use this one, use it all through. If you want to use this one, use it all through. Don't use this in one place, use another one in another place, use another one in another. No. Let it be consistent. So if you want to use this, you just, let's say I have my name like this and I want to turn it to a bullet point. Yeah, you see. So if I want to, like, let's say I'm done with this, I'm done with this. It's so difficult. I use LaTeX now. I don't even know how to use Microsoft. This, you see, that's how to do your bullet point. So once you are done, come like this, write another one, put it again, get a bullet point or whatever. If you don't need a bullet point, I believe you get the gist. Now, I want to explain something, which is if I want to underline, let's say this is my education. Let me just write education. So the education should be in education, and it should be in education should be at the middle and it should be underlined. This is the major problem for most people. How do you underline it? Me, I have a problem. I am the kind of person that will sort out information and give you all the information you need, because I believe if you equip people, if you are working with people and you train them, right? You will equip them with the necessary skills. You are also reducing a lot of burden on yourself, because if I'm not telling you all this, I cannot be doing it for all of you. It's a lot of stress on me. So let me just try as much as possible. Let you guys be independent. I don't want anybody to be dependent on me. My aim is not to be like I helped you. My aim is to be like I equipped you with the necessary skills. Like I said from day one, I'm not promising anybody funding. I'm not the one who is sharing funding. But what I can do is I can direct you the right path, and I can I can equip you with all the necessary skills and understanding to excel in it. So now you want to underline this. Come here. Look at, can you see my, please, you can unmute yourself right now because you're going to be talking a lot. Can you see my mouse?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Look at this drop down button. Click on it. Then come down, come to borders and shadings. Click on it. Come to this place. Don't touch anything. I don't want you to go color, leave it like that. Come to this place so that it will not be too tiny. Come here, take 2.14, click on it and click on OK. Then you come back here and you click on bottom border. Do you hear what I'm saying? Bottom border. Then you click on it. Do you see that?
Yes, sir, we can see that, sir.
So it sounds like it's stupid, but many people actually need it. So let's now, the last thing I'm going to be putting out here before I still remember anything. Let's say let me just make life easy. This is my name. I want to write my address. This is too big. My address, I said it should be what? 12. Let's say I have my address. Only the address can be bold. Control B. Ajali Coco Street. Tab. Don't you see what I did? I'm using tab. Then I want to put my email. Oh no. My email. Aziz Akinyemi @gmail.com. I press this again. What else? I don't know. What else do you guys put there? What else do you guys put there? Let's say, I don't know. Shall I put something here? And in this, I'm using tab. Look the way I'm moving. See where you drop me under the first one. It's easier like that. So I want to put link in where I write my insert. So let me make this practical. Let me see if I can go to my LinkedIn here. It's been a while I use this laptop. Shall I? Okay, let me just LinkedIn. Sorry, it's been a while I used the laptop. So this is my LinkedIn profile, contact, and I want to like, this is my URL and all this. I've actually edited this a lot. Most of you, if you check your URL, it's not going to be like this. Why do I even click on edit now? Okay, let me just contact information. Or let me make life even difficult for you guys. Let me just say I want to copy this. I've edited it so it's so short. LinkedIn at something.aziz is short. If most of you want to do your own, it's going to be as long as possible. It's going to be as long as, let me find something. As long as this, and this is even short. Why have I edited all my stuff? I'm such a mess. I've edited everything. Look at this. This is even short. This is also like a long. Can you fit this into your document? So let me put this. I want to put my LinkedIn, Control V C. Do you know why? Because it's too long. See, it's too long. It's just too long. How do I convert it to a printable, to a clickable link? Pay attention, Control X. The same way I'm going to copy my LinkedIn. So I'll come here, right click, then come to link. Just click on link to take you to this portion. You see text to display. You can call it link. You can call it LinkedIn if that's what you want to do. Call it LinkedIn. Your address. This is where you are going to, your URL that you copy. This is where you're going to put it. Control V. Then you click on OK. See, it brings out LinkedIn or in blue and underline. If I click on this LinkedIn, Control click, it will take me to my LinkedIn profile. You see? Easily. That's how to make your profile neat. Can you see that? It brought me here straight up. So if you have any document, please, because I'm not going to be doing this again, and I want to like solve all major problems that many people have faced right now. So if you have any document, for instance, you have your final project, of course you have both the soft copy and the hard copy. Yeah, you want to put it under your publication. This is what I'm talking about. Let's say this, let's call this publication. Let's call this publication. Let's call this publication. So now, if you have publication, you write your publication, no problem. But if you don't, let's say you have non-referred publication, that means publication that you have not submitted, like your final year project. If you have not submitted it, come here, click on underline, then you write the name of your name, write your name, majorly your name, year that you did it, title together, just write title together, another. Then you've written everything. The first thing you will do is go to your Google Drive of that new email. Use that new email that you created for application. Use it to create a Google Drive and upload your soft copy of your document, of your undergraduate research or research or any other document or any other write-up that you did. upload it to that document, to that Google Drive. Let me do that. I have if I check this, I should have a Google. Okay, look at it. This is a Google Drive. All these documents are on Google Drive. I've uploaded it. Can you see it? Please let me know so that I will know if I'm talking to myself.
Yes, we can.
Am I
get it.
boring?
No, sir.
It's okay. It's okay. I can be boring sometimes. I just have to do this. Yeah. Let's say let's say these are the documents you uploaded. This instead of this being this do and don't of writing CV for 2025 scholarship meeting 3, these are like your it's your PDF of your final year project, a PDF of your project design project, some other papers or presentation that you have done, poster presentation that you have done. You have them listed here. Click on them one after the other. You can come here, make a copy, share, come to share, and come to copy link. For each one of them, you've written their details. So that's why I said your CV, you have to put in a lot of effort. You've written everything, you've written a lot of stuff, like your name, both dates, you've done this, you've done that. And let me just keep it short. And you want to make your profile, your CV more credible. You understand? You cannot just be saying you did something. What I used to say, I came up with all this thing. If I said I did something, for my CV to carry more weight, I have to show that I truly do it. What's the best way for me to show it? I can just come here, open bracket, close bracket. In here, right click again, come to link. This is what you want it to display, right? Come here, write link. That is link to that what thing you say you've done. Link. The address, that's the one you copied. Control V. Copy the see how long the address is. Can you even insert this address into that place? See how long the address is. Look at it. See. Then you press OK. Look at it. It gives you a link, a clickable link to that document in your drive, and they can always click on it and open it. Let me open it again. Do you see that? It brought me here straight up. So they can check your email. The fact that they even see you putting evidence, putting links to everything you say you've done, makes it more credible, and they will pay attention to your CV, and they will see you as a great candidate. I think that is basically all the do and don't, the frequently asked questions, and the way to like make it easier for you. I can say, if there is any other thing you feel like I should add, please let me know. Oh my God, this is like 2 hours. Yeah, that's all. Please, I need your question right now. So that if there is any part is not clear to you, let me know so I can easily explain now before we call it a day. Hello. Yeah, let me stop sharing my screen. Okay, okay. Chinedu, please, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. At least I've learned a lot like from this. Okay, about sometimes some people use icon like my old CV. I used like icons for the links, so I don't think maybe I'll change it to this one also. If that's not okay.
Icons, like just put an icon there.
Yes, and if you click on the icon, it will take you to the LinkedIn.
Okay. Yeah, it depends. You can put icon. Yeah, that might work too, but you cannot put icon cannot fool your LinkedIn if you're like trying to put. Okay, for instance, if you have, yeah, it's good. You can use that for LinkedIn. You can use that for LinkedIn, but I would suggest you use link because that would be like very communicative. You get what I'm saying? If I see an icon, I'll be like, are you showing me an emoji? But if I see you put a link, I'll be like, okay, this is the link to this. You have to be expressive, you have to be clear. And again, if you're writing your CV, don't use big ink grammar. You're not trying to impress anybody. I don't want to go through your CV and start to be looking for dictionary. I don't. So I will try to say, make it as simple as possible, just express yourself,